Shortly before Valentine's Day 2009, a devout Hindu group known as Lord Ramsamy invaded a bar in Mangalore in India's Karnataka state, and proceeded to drag women out by their hair, and beat them up for the sin of flirtatiousness. Said the group's founder,
"We are the citizens of this nation, and I feel it is our duty to discipline indecent behavior."
Prominent Indian government officials approved. The Chief Minister of the Indian state of Rajasthan said he would work to ensure that
the culture of boys and girls going hand in hand to pubs and malls for drinking is stopped.
Nirmala Venkatesh, a member of India's National Commission for Women who chairs a panel investigating the incident, insisted that women must recognize societal limits and plan to interrogate the parents of these ne'er-do-wells. Perhaps emboldened by this government sympathy, Lord Ramsamy threatened to shut down Valentine's Day altogether. Said its commander,
"Valentine's Day is definitely not Indian culture. We will not allow celebration of that day in any form."
For once, women fought back. Not by dragging men out of their temples and beating them, but by means of the more compelling technique of ridicule. A group calling itself the Consortium of Outgoing, Loose and Forward Women organized itself on the internet, and deluged Lord Ramsamy with a mailing of some 40,000 pairs of pink panties. Not all of them had been washed. As a result, Valentine's Day survived for another year in India.
Hindus are not the only god experts who are cracking down on Valentine's Day. In Saudi Arabia, the sale of red roses, indeed, the sale of anything red, is legally banned in the weeks before the day of satanic temptation. The Muslim Council of Indonesia last year declared Valentine's Day illegal and succeeded in getting some Munich Pole governments to cooperate in the ban. As the deputy mayor of one city put it,
the Valentine's Day celebration is not our culture, as it usually relates closely to immoral acts where during the celebration young couples tend to hug and even kiss each other. This is an immoral act, right?
In neighboring Malaysia, lawmakers have issued dire warnings.
From the point of view of Islam, this is not an advisable practice. Unmarried couples might come together and mingle with each other in unacceptable ways.
Imams in the Sudan rail against St. Valentine's Day not only because it glorifies sin but because of its Christian origins. The Catholic Church, though, is quick to point out that Saint Valentine himself had nothing to do with romantic love. The Valentine's Day tradition, like most of what is pleasant about Christianity, actually originated with the Roman pagans, who observed a joyous feast of sexuality in mid-February called Lupercalia. The early Christians renamed Lupercalia and tried to recharacterize it along holier lines but failed.
Meanwhile, back in India, a professor at Nehru University who sides with the Consortium of Outgoing, Loose and Forward Women,
a club that definitely needs a men's auxiliary.
The professor noted shrewdly that
when they say it is against Hindu culture, we get into a debate. It is a trap. Then they have you exactly where they want you. We should just jail them for assault on these women.
The professor is absolutely right. One need look no further than the life work of the most prominent Hindu theologian of the 20th century, Mohandas aka Mahatma Gandhi, which we discuss at length in a separate video. In closing, let me mention the Reverend Ian Paisley, the militant Northern Ireland Protestant leader who knows a thing or two about religious violence. Paisley once sagely observed,
"I have found this, that when people laugh at a thing they will not worship it."
Too bad, then, that the organizers of the Consortium of Outgoing, Loose and Forward Women were not around 90 years ago to mail their 40,000 pink panties to great soul Gandhi. If perhaps he had been taken down a few pegs at the outset, South Asia might be a far better place today.